Welcome back to the Goal Line Stand. We're really excited to have you here for this video. First, before we really get into it, please do me the favor of liking and subscribing. Now, today we are talking about the Cincinnati Bearcats and what they have to do in 2022. And I don't think they're going to top what they did in 2021, but, they're at the top of Group 5 teams. They made it to the top. And what can they do to kind of further that? Now, first, I want to start off and look at their schedule. Now, they start off the year against Arkansas, and this Arkansas team is going to be really good. I talked about it in previous videos if you want to go check that out. Now, with this Arkansas team, they're fierce. And Cincinnati, they're losing a lot of players, which is another thing that I want to talk about. They're losing Desmond Ridder, a really, really solid, well-rounded quarterback. And, he's probably going to go fairly high in the draft, maybe first, second round quarterback. I also think that the biggest loss that they have right now is going to be Ahmad Sauce Gardner on that cornerback. He's a great cornerback. I mean, you've seen the stats before. The dude hasn't let up a single touchdown in all of his years in college, and also you're losing Kobe Bryant on the other side. Now, I think these are big holes in that team, but it's not something that Luke Fickell cannot replace. We've talked about a lot on this channel about teams reloading, not rebuilding, and I think Cincinnati's kind of getting to a point there. Luke Fickell likes to bring in a lot of 3 stars, 4 stars, and kind of build them up. And, throw a couple 2 stars in there, too. If you can build up those players, you can really do anything with that team. I think that Cincinnati is a force to beat in the American Athletic Conference, and I think you look at what they did this past year, and they can really roll that over into the next year. I think starting the year off against Arkansas, whether it be a loss or a win, it's still making a statement about how you play, and I think Cincinnati will bring it. I think you look down further into the schedule, they play IU. Now, this is a team that they played this past year and beat. IU, they obviously had a bad year, but you can never count out Tom Allen and those Hoosiers because they're a team that likes to upset big-time teams. So I think going into that game, Cincinnati and Luke Fickell, they really got to bring the extra intensity because you never want to be playing. Even though it is a home game, you never want to be playing the Hoosiers because they are known to upset teams. So I think those are some key points that Cincinnati fans and everybody who's looking at the Cincinnati team next year should make note of. Also, huge news that came out a week ago. Luke Fickell is committed to this Cincinnati program, and he signed that contract extension. I think what he's done with that program and that city. I mean, you look at the city this past 2-3 months. What an incredible turnaround. You have never seen a group of 5 team go into the college football playoff, and they broke barriers there. You look at what just happened a month and a half ago, the Bengals making it to the Super Bowl. I think the entire city of Cincinnati, especially the football side, is on a huge upswing, and I think that momentum is huge in the coming years for Cincinnati football. Now, I also want to talk about how with Cincinnati, with their reload and everything like that, there's going to become some flaws. Now, the loss of Desmond Ridder, I touched on that a little bit. That's going to be felt because Desmond Ridder, he's one of those guys who can sit in the pocket and then make those big-time throws. He can also leave the pocket, too. We saw against UCF his insanely long touchdown, 56-yard touchdown pass. You saw against Memphis. I mean, the dude was incredible. If you lose that guy, which you are, it's going to be hard to reload. I don't think you're going to be at that caliber. But teams in the AAC, have always been gunning to get that to that top. We look back to, 2017 when UCF, they called themselves the national champions, which really the title belonged to Alabama. But, they had an undefeated year. They won a Peach Bowl, which, props to them. They weren't the national champions, but, we haven't seen a season like that since, except for Cincinnati right here. We look at Memphis. Memphis had a ton of great years under Mike Norvell, who then left, and now he's in Tallahassee. We saw the incredible recruiting job he's been doing. But these are just kind of some of the things that I want to talk about. I think Cincinnati is a good team. I think they have insane potential. I think Luke Fickell is a great coach. I don't see him leaving anytime soon. There's been a lot of rumors that he might go to a big-time school if it opens up, and I just don't think so. I think Luke Fickell is a very loyal guy. You saw him stay in Cincinnati when he had the chance to leave. You saw him stay in Columbus with Ohio State when he had the chance to leave, for the most part, until he got the Cincinnati job. Luke Fickell is a dedicated coach. He brings in highly talented players and other coaches to work with him. I think these are incredible points that I don't know if Cincinnati can go back-to-back. I think they might win the AAC, and I just think those are the key points that people have to look at, because Cincinnati can beat you, but you got to be looking with your rear view mirrors, because Memphis and UCF and Gus Malzahn, they're coming too. So those are just the points that I want to look out for this upcoming year, 2022, with the Cincinnati Bearcats. You've been listening to the Goal Line Stand. Have a great one.